So we're going to call this meeting to order at 6:04. And I'm looking, do we have any public participation today? Ed, is that you that called in? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ed.
Okay. Okay.
No, wait a minute. There's another phone. I thought that was you, Nikki. There's another.
Yes,
Oh,
it's me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Ed. It's on there twice.
Yeah, it always seems to be on there twice. Okay.
Not important.
Yeah. So this is a special meeting for the board to formalize and officially approve the proposed budget so that it can go before the voters. And that is the primary item for discussion. The second item for discussion, we need to select our meeting date. So related. So we need to select our annual meeting date. And then lastly, we have the formal documents for the court settlement on the
Valenti.
The Valenti case. So we should briefly talk about that and then maybe talk about it more at our next meeting. Can we do an informal approval today and then a formal approval at the next one?
I mean, I think what Bill has said in his email was you may want to consider informing the board of the final documents, which I'm doing. The final documents are here, and have them reapprove or ratify its prior approval.
Okay. So let's go with ratify our prior approval because we already reviewed it. And then we'll bring it for discussion at the next meeting so that it's
public, very public. Yeah.
Okay. So those will be our three items for discussion and items for action. So with that, we should move on to the budget.
So yesterday I sent the board the updated spreadsheets from Ed. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Which included using all of the surplus that we talked about last meeting, using all of the surplus, the cut of the teacher, as well as the cut for the floors and the doors.
Okay.
That's the fourth grade position, correct?
It'll end up being, do you mean in terms of the classroom?
Teacher, yeah.
It'll be the short, the little class.
The little classroom.
Correct.
Yeah, the little class.
The
They're fifth grade
rising.
now. Wait,
Oh,
no, the rising sixth grade.
Rising sixth grade, correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Um,
this budget that is presented to you includes all of those things.
and the floors and the doors, you said. Sorry, I just wasn't.
Yep, that-
Yeah.
yep.
Sure.
Okay. So that comes out with a final budget. We got under $10 million, which is nice. For the tax scenarios, that puts us for an increase between just under
I'm
100.
not seeing the document. Was it
Oh,
sent by email?
It was in the email. Do you want me to? I'll pull it. Do you want me to pull it up or?
I can share my screen, Nikki, if that
Okay.
works. Yep.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I'm gonna.
Oh,
start
wait,
from-
I see it. I see it.
I'll still,
Alright.
Colleen, I'll still share it just for, it might make it easier when
That'd
we
be great.
record this.
Oh, I can't edit this.
Colleen, are you able to see it now?
I am.
I put this out here like this.
Okay. Do you want me to?
Oh, are you just? Well, I don't want to edit it live, so don't.
Got it.
worry
I'll
about
leave it. I'll leave it as is.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, that's what we discussed doing at the last one, so I'm happy to go forward. As far as presenting what the changes are in the budget, for me, our elementary expenditures are going down slightly. I'm in the account summary tab. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah. I was just looking at a comparison of this year to last year to really see where the big differences are. So with the changes, I assume that's what's bringing our elementary wages
Mhm.
down. And then our secondary wages are going up, and that's what we expected with the negotiated benefits change last year. This is the first year we're seeing the impacts of the negotiated benefits change in the budget.
Correct, because it was, Christine, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was partway through last year around this time where we.
I believe so.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'm just like, I'm highlighting this for myself and for anybody that watches this video later, and so I can help write the document. Tuition is going up, although not immensely. And then throughout the entire SU, our wages and benefits are going down, or not the SU, the district, our wages and benefits are going down slightly, very slightly. But our assessment is going up significantly, which we knew about, and that was voted on at the SU level. But that's the bulk. I mean, that's almost $250,000 of the $400,000 increase. So that really is the biggest.
Is the secondary teacher increase?
No, the assessment.
The assessment.
The assessment. is the biggest
Why
part.
is the assessment going up so much?
Well, the first one is special ed.
Yep.
And negotiated benefits for special ed teachers and staff, because that's part of that same negotiation package. And then it's also services.
And there was a pretty big increase in support staff contract wage, which they need and deserve. So that was a large portion of the wage increase.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so those are like, when I scanned through this earlier today, and I of course didn't write anything down, but those were the big things that I saw. And that kind of makes up the new budget. So I feel like, to me, this feels as fiscally responsible as we can be. And I feel like we've right-sized the programs. And I think I would take a motion to approve it. If you guys feel like we're there, if there's any further discussion.
I have a question. Does anyone, I'm trying to phrase this correctly. Did anyone ask, does anyone have any feedback from the teachers about said teaching, about the, the one teaching position that's going, that we're getting rid of? Just if that's okay, I guess, or do we need their approval?
I had a conversation with the team of teachers that it most directly affects, that 5-6 team. And they understood when we spoke with them around the reasons why we might need to do that they understood. So I think, to answer your question, Heather, there wasn't pushback on that. And I don't think that it would decrease the level of support drastically for the students. We're still able to meet student needs, even though we are not going to have that additional teacher. Does that answer your question?
Sarah, did you have something?
No, I was just going to make a motion to approve this budget.
I just have since I wasn't here last time, when you said the doors were being omitted, I don't remember
right.
doors. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just saw.
So there were, we had added, Jim had wanted to replace the front doors. And it was not a security issue, it was more of a cosmetic issue. And they are probably due to be replaced. If we weren't in a tight budget year and if we weren't looking at
Redoing the whole.
Yeah, and the same thing with the carpet. Like the carpet costs a fortune, and it is really awful looking. But the same situation is we're not gonna
Yeah, if
redo
we're
a
gonna
carpet.
redo the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I did put out a plug, Christine. Any school getting rid of carpet tiles in the SU will just take some and cobble together the entrance. So they're probably in better shape than that. So, okay. So let's we'll formalize the motion. So, and Ed, correct me if I say the number wrong, but I would take a motion to.
Oops, wrong. Sorry. This one.
It's on there. It's
Yep,
on all
there
of
we
them.
go. Oh, true.
Okay. Look it on your screen. Okay, I will take a motion to approve the budget for $9,991,128 for FY24. Christine, is there anything else I need to formalize for that?
Nope.
Okay, so that's the motion that we need.
Yep.
Okay. So Sarah, do you want to approve that, or do you want to move that?
Yes,
motion?
I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'm happy to second.
Okay. We'll do a roll call. Beth?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Heather?
Aye.
Okay, so
Nikki.
the budget, oh, Nikki, hi, aye. So the budget's been approved. 5-0. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is whip out our phones and remember history, which is harder to do because history got all messed up with COVID. So I believe we typically did the presentation. So town meeting is on the first Tuesday in March, so that's the 7th.
Yep.
I believe we typically did the presentation the Monday prior.
Yep.
Is that tracks with you? So that would be the 27th. So
There's a SU board.
Wait. The Monday prior, wouldn't that be isn't that the 6th?
a week before.
Oh,
Sorry,
a
the
week
Monday-
before. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
So
that would be-
February 27th. Yep. It's usually comes right after the break. I don't know if that's true this year. No, it's a week later.
So the SU board meeting is here, but I feel like our board meeting is more important because that's what we always like. I feel like that's
Well,
what's
not that
expected of us.
Wait, no, it is right after the break, right? 'Cause the break is,
Well, the break is the break. Yes, it is, Sarah. You're right. Now that I look at the calendar, it is the Monday after the break.
I just
I don't
can't
know, Nikki,
whether
if
it's-
that. No, it's always been the Monday, even though the meeting's on a Tuesday. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
I am not able. I've got SAT prep class from 6 to 8 on that Monday. But I can do any other day that week.
Yeah, I don't know what we want to do. Like,
Do we present it typically
But
jointly
Tuesday.
or is it separate?
no, we
Okay.
usually have our own meeting.
Okay.
And I guess the town will be in person this year, right?
It
I
wasn't.
think-
Yes, I think so. And we didn't warn it the following year, right? We didn't put anything about the time. I remember because it used to start at 7 o'clock, right? Didn't we? Does that
Yeah.
vaguely seem familiar to you?
Yep.
Do we warn it a year ahead of time? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think we warn like the start time. Maybe I'm wrong. I just vaguely remember somebody wanting to make it earlier, and there was some discussion about we couldn't do that unless it was a year prior.
Yeah, I remember that too, because we tried to have a meeting at 6 and
Right.
Oh,
said we weren't allowed to do that. That's why I'm nervous about changing it from the Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm trying to, we could, here, you know what, you guys, while you're chatting there, I'm just going to quickly go to town site and see if it's in the warrant from last year, see if I can find it. Hang on.
That would be, thanks, Sarah. Ed left us. Thank you, Ed.
His job is done. His job is done here.
Right.
Gone.
It is.
I would have said thank you if I put it together.
It's a meeting, right? We need to vote in the ballot.
Yeah.
Under the agenda.
So for all of the warnings, do we have to vote each individual warning?
No, I don't. No.
Okay, so those just automatically happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. Lori made a draft one. I'm gonna pull it up on my computer
Oh, that would be great.
so I can find it.
Um,
Hmm. So on the website, they have all the town reports up to 2021. They have not posted the 2022 one yet. So we'll have to get it from Brian.
Wait, but it was the 2021 report because this is the 22 report right now, isn't it?
Oh God, you're right. Thank you. I was like, it's 2023. It must be that. Yes. Okay. So on here, I'm opening up the 2021.
See, I can find in my folders. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, this is interesting. So it is actually warned for, oh no, sorry. It says Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. But that was last year's.
Well, that's not the week before. That's like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it has to be within. Oh, that's really early. I think it had to be 10 days. Was that?
Did last year, did it fall on like?
Oh, no,
March
it was the
1st or
first.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the first.
So that
It was
was
early.
only, it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do Tuesday.
It was. So unfortunately, I have my last library board meeting that Tuesday night. So I would not be able to make that, but I think you guys should go ahead with,
It would be your last school board meeting.
I know.
Either that or honestly and truly, like I could see if my partner wanted to do the earlier and then I could be there at like 7:15, 7:20. So if we want to stick with Monday, I can wangle some things if that is better for everybody. I don't want to hold up the train.
I think that's the SU meeting.
I think we did Monday, Nikki, because our meetings used to be on Mondays and now they're on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you decide either Monday or Tuesday.
Our meeting is the first Tuesday of the month. So
Mhm.
that would be, wait, no, we can't do March 7th. It would be the last Tuesday of the month.
Be the last Tuesday. And you know what? I
Right.
may be able to like move the library meeting a little bit earlier so I could come for at least some of the informational meeting.
Okay.
I think I can work that.
Okay, so how about I'll take a motion to make the informational meeting February 28th at 7 p.m.
Okay. And is that at back to Damon Hall, right?
I think back to Damon Hall.
Okay.
So Beth has moved the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Colleen is going to second. Okay, I'm going to do a roll call, and Heather, you're in my eyesight.
Yes, aye.
Hi. Okay. Colleen,
Aye, same.
Sarah,
Aye.
Beth,
Aye.
and Nikki, aye. Okay, so
And
that's
Nikki-
approved.
You said 7:00, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
7 o'clock.
Nikki, do you want on the old warning or the draft warning from last year that Lori's working on, there was a Google Meet option. Do we want to continue with that or not? And is the tech okay at Damon Hall? I'm trying to recall. For some reason, I'm blanking.
I think we want CATV to run the meeting again. So,
CATV.
yeah, if they're up for it.
Okay.
They
February.
pumped at that point, though. So let's reach out and see if that's an option.
Okay, so if possible, we would like a Google Meet option and CATV to be there. Okay.
Okay. Okay, moving forward, we're going to try and keep this meeting to 6:30. We have the Valente decision. Actually, before we move on real quick, I just want to make sure, and we could just do a consensus, that the board is going to give me authority to sign off on all of the warnings that will be the standard warnings that we do every year, with changes to the budget numbers, et cetera. So are you guys good with me signing the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. We're just going to regurgitate last year, change the numbers, and put it back out there. Because the legalese has already been reviewed. Okay, so back to you, Christine.
Okay. So we had word from our legal counsel, Bill Ellis, who's been working on this case, and I think you've seen it. I'm sorry, my husband, for some reason, is here and talking in the background, so give me 1 second.
My kids are here doing homework.
He's
I'm
got
gonna
it
call
talking to you.
It's work related. Somebody just called him for help. Anyway, so you've seen the terms of the agreement. I think it's just signing off. As you recall, the legal fees, and I believe the any family that put in for a request that was denied in 2019-20 will be reimbursed if they put something in. They have 60 days to make that request after the settlement is finalized. And I checked with Bill and I asked him if Visbit covered that, and he said that he was quite certain that they did, and to submit the bill to him. So the attorney fees are covered, and we are at this point paying public dollars to religious schools in the.
Do we have any idea of amount, like what we're talking?
For the legal fees, it was pretty hefty.
For the tuition.
No, Lori was working on finding that voucher from last year. So
I signed it. I can't remember how much it was. It was
How
in March.
how many kids are we paying tuition to religious schools for at this point? Do we know?
in Heartland,
Yeah.
I think two, not many.
I think it's just 2
Yeah, I think it's just 2.
at this point.
And I think I'm not positive, but I think there's only one family other family that made the request in 1920 that will be paying out. But we won't be paying it. Visbit will be paying it. So it's going to get finalized. It's gone back and forth, and the parties have kind of tweaked it a little bit, and now everyone's in agreement. So it just needs signatures.
Okay.
Yeah, the attorney's fees were $110,000, and Visbit has agreed to pay this amount. Again, anybody making the request within 60 days of execution, any family who that was denied tuition for 2019-2020 school year will be reimbursed if they make the request within 60 days.
Monitors turned on.
And then we're supposed to honor tuition requests to attend religious schools going forward. One of the conditions was remove all guidance online or otherwise that states students cannot receive the full tuition benefit if they attend religious schools. And we have to forward the French letter of 9/13 to all tuition eligible families within 14 days of execution of the settlement, unless we've already done so. So those were
We only have to do that once, though. We don't have to do that every year.
correct. Yeah.
And I mean, we can get into this more in the next meeting, but going forward, like, are we required to pay to religious schools that exclude people based on whatever they want to exclude people based on?
I believe that is accurate right now, and I think the legislature is taking that up.
Okay,
And
good.
this is just.
This is just high
This
school.
is just high school tuition, yes. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I think you just need to, if you ratify that, ratify your prior approval with a ratifying vote. That's adequate, I believe.
Can I ask why do we have to ratify it again? And it sounded like he said we don't actually have to.
He said it's right. He did.
I mean, I'm just wondering, since I think most of us disagree very much with this situation.
Yep.
And if we don't have to ratify it, I guess I would prefer
Let's make sure that when you
not to vote in favor of this situation, which I don't approve of, if I don't absolutely have to for our legal standing. That makes sense.
That does make sense. And his, in the email, it says not absolutely necessary, but something to consider. So that is absolutely in your purview.
Sounds good to me.
I agree with
And I
Sarah.
will send him that message if that is what the board decides.
And so do they have to give me power to sign it, or is that just? And that is the direction we could go, is that you guys could just say that you approve me signing the results of the legal agreement.
It looks like, and Nikki, you've got it. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
It says at the bottom of the final settlement, the undersigned agree to the form and content of this final agreement settlement on behalf of the parties they represented. So it looks like the legal counsel, the attorney sign off on it with.
So we're
That's
done.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk
Okay.
about it at our next meeting.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn meeting.
Second.
Come on, we're late. Okay.
We're off by 1 minute. Quick, quick, quick.
And I think that we could just do it by consent. If everybody's
Consent.
good.
I'm consenting.
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for
Bye.
getting,
Thank you.
thank you for all the hard work. And Christine, send Ed a thank you from us.
You too.
Okay. Bye.